Steve Robbins. What's up? Oh, what? Did our telescope come in today? That's not too bad. That's about what we figured. I bet it's flying off the shelves. No, since she hasn't really played with one, you know, I mean, she could probably send it back. I think she'll be happy with the 50. And then she'll buy the 30. They're going to go hand in hand. What's going to be nice about if you get both of them, you can image what you really want. You know, you can image one on an object, you can image on another object that needs it. Now, did they do a firmware update for the 50? Yes. So you got everything that 30 maybe. Boy, could you imagine doing a mosaic with the 30? Now, does it figure out where to slide over to and crop it? Yes. So it knows what the field rotation is going to be. Huh. Yes. Oh, this will be awesome if somebody gets all of Orion, the whole constellation. Ah. Oh, you mean on the mosaic thing? Yeah, it's easy to run out of time on a mosaic. And if you could say, oh, well, stop it, and then resume the mosaic the next night, that'd be incredible. Well, maybe that's something they got to work on, because that's got to be very precise if you stop it. But could you imagine somebody doing the whole constellation of let's just say, no, isn't it it's a degree and a half, isn't it? Or is it? Oh, okay. No, that's the 50. I'm talking about the 30. Oh, so they removed that then. But you can still do without the mosaic the next night. Correct? Should be able to. Well, all you do is you just go back to the same object. I'm not talking about with a mosaic. Now, what you could do is do the next night the mosaic, and then use another program to combine both of them. What do you mean, maybe? But see what it has to do when it's in the mosaic function, it has to slew over. Blunt. So we'll see. It's gonna get better. Yeah. And have you figured out what that smaller thing on the front is? Is that the other lens? They don't have like what the second lens is. Do they have the specs on the second lens? Now I've got two C-Star Facebook pages. I got the official one, and I got another one, and I also have another one. All you have to do is this. Search for another group. I think there's just two groups. Oh man. I bet tomorrow morning we're going to. I wonder how fast they're pushing these suckers out. I think I would have expedited my shipment. Now they may be coming straight. They may be coming straight from China, or if you go to, let's just say, to a telescope supplier, they may have gotten some in earlier and just couldn't sell them. So we'll see. It would be, because I know some of these guys are gonna, if they can get one from a dealer here and not directly from them, and they may even have a shipping point in here in the United States, period. Okay. Sure. Well, they don't care because a sell is a sell for them anyway. But then again, they have to pay the seller, but they still make money. They still make money. I've got to go over to this, you know where this wings place up here by the highway is? Yeah. I got to go over there. I went over there yesterday and I ordered a hamburger and steak fries, and when I got home, and I already had their wings. And they're expensive. 10 wings is like $18. Unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, it should. Yeah, and it's not them. It's the suppliers of wings. That I've seen some news things on why the wings are so. So it may be a cell phone lens, I bet. Wow. So the dwarf, that kills the dwarf right there. Oh, you know the cell phone lenses. And you should be able to do an all sky thing with it. You know, I don't know what the build view of it is. I don't know. Well, you can do it. You should be able to. Is it video and photo? Yeah, you can. And it does photos. So you should be able to lengthen the exposure. Yeah, you should be able to lengthen. You should. Only 1080p. Yeah, it's only 1080p. Too bad they didn't go 4K on that side. Huh. Oh well, we'll see the proof in the pudding. Yeah, yeah. Wow. And plus, it's probably got more field of view than their wide angle. Yeah, it does. They showed it. He showed it during that thing. Yeah, when he did those images in that photo, he should have showed the raw images, so you could see the field of view. I mean the rotation. Boy, I'd love to see one right now. I got my sign made up so I can stand up to on the. I need to see star 30. I'm gonna make something. I'm gonna find one of those photographs on the internet. Somebody standing there begging for money with the sign. I'll need to change the wording to C star 30. You know, some of those guys pull in anywhere between $200 and $800 a day. And didn't Daytona at one time, or maybe it was, and guess what? The Supreme Court knocked it down. Yeah, and then the thing about the marijuana things, a lot of misinformation on that. A lot of misinformation. You can't smoke wherever you want to. It's a controlled substance, and they're going to have to follow. It's not like when they had the bike week. They got to enforce it because they enforce the people who get, and you can only because it's contraband. marijuana. You can't prove where you bought it at. You have to walk around. You have to have the container that it came from a dispensary. Dispensaries can. It's the same way as in Denver. It's the same way as in Denver. You know, and when somebody gets pulled over right now and they got a marijuana, unless they have the dispensary package that it came in, they confiscate it. Now they can just be using an empty one. I don't, you know, but most of the people aren't that smart, you know. You know, and if I and the other thing is you can't grow marijuana here. It's not going to allow you to. The guy down at the desk here said that if it passes, they can smoke it in the lobby and in here. And I said, no. It's going to be just like cigarettes and booze. Well, they can smoke it in the bar. No, dude, where are you getting your information at? And anyway, any private entity can tell you can't walk in with a yellow T-shirt on. They're so stupid. Now, DeLand, when they had that bike week thing there, that one-day thing, they allowed everybody to carry beer, to drink beer on the. In which I was really surprised. I was walking by and I saw a couple people with cans of beers, and I go, God, they're gonna get busted. And then all of a sudden I asked them, oh, there's like 30 of them selling them right down the street there. Yeah, just. And actually, the price for a beer was $5, which, if you really think about it, for an event, that is cheap. $15 or $20, you know. And when you go, and you also have to show proof of age, and it doesn't matter how old you are. They now in New Mexico, you have to. Everybody has to. If you go and buy liquor and stuff, you have to show an ID, no matter if you look 90 years old. Now, Colorado, no, they just have to look. They just have to look at you, you know. It's just, but yeah. People are going to go, oh, it passed. You know why you don't want it to pass? The marijuana is not the same as it was in the 60s and the 70s. No, not potent. More stinky. The marijuana back then was kind of like a sweet, oh, I smell some marijuana. You know, and they're pretty good. You know, Woodland, I don't know if you ever heard of them, they're pretty good too. I use them to buy all my stuff with. You know, don't. Done deal. And I bet you could have put a overnighter on it. And that's another thing. Let me just tell you, you got a debit card? You don't? And then you pay your. Okay. Okay. I don't get any fees when I use my debit card. But the thing is, if you lose your credit card or your debit card, it could take up to a week before you get the new one. What you need, I misplaced mine. I'm always misplacing them in the house. So I called them up and she said, do you want that overnighted? And I said, what? And she said, yeah, I can't go 5 days without a debit card or a credit card, you know. Huh. So I got to get a new one right now. The front, okay, what's that meaning?
It has 3.5 times the well depth used with the S50. They say it gives better color representation and when paired with the lower read noise and longer exposure opportunity, you can expect clearer images with rich, stunning detail.
With the smaller thing?
Yeah, smaller than it would be if you had the S50 chip in it. Yeah.
Interesting. Because I know how the dwell thing works. Pixel size. That's why when I got the S3 from Sony, they all thought that they were going to bump up the resolution, and it was a no-go because when you have your dwell, or you know where the light hits it, if it's smaller, it will. If your chip is smaller, it will overflow faster. So you can't do more exposure. You can't lengthen your exposures too much. And when it overflows into the next pixel. And that's where you get your noise. So they were very smart on not doing that. I was hoping, people were saying, oh, I hope they go up from, because it's only a 12 megapixel camera. And they were saying, oh, I hope they go up to, 48 megapixel camera. And I said, oh, no, I didn't want it. Because that would make the video way more noisy. That's one of the big things on these cell phone cameras and stuff. You know, it's how, you know, you need to look at if you're going to buy a cell phone for pictures, you need to look at how big the sensor is. You know, because I'm sure all cell phones have different size sensors. You know. I don't know what Android does, you know. But see, Android's already gone up to 8K. And they did that over a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. What do you call it? Apple is still on 4K. That is strange, isn't it?
Yeah, Apple is always the innovator. They're always out there first with stuff that nobody can use yet because it's so new, you know. That's part of the reason people buy it.
Well, where do most people post their videos? YouTube, and they already have 8K. They've had that for the last 4 years, you know. And an 8K video on a 4K TV is going to look better, believe me. When I was looking at the 8K videos on my 26-inch monitor, that goes up to 6K, I think. Oh, it was just breathtaking. And then again, we talked about the pan, you know, zoom and pan, you know. I mean, you go to 8K, you got almost half your football field already there. You don't have to zoom in. if you see the guy way over on the right hand side, you just zoom in on him, and you don't have to move. And then all you do is track him. I mean, not within the camera, maybe, but you know, externally with your video editing software. You know, Final Cut Pro will track stuff. Yeah, it is getting really, this technology. You know, I'm going to tell you, 10 years from now, when you and I are going, what'd you say? This technology is just going to be crazy. Now, Apple is keeping a tight reins on this AI shit since they rolled it out. They're keeping a tight rein. And I understand, because I'm starting to see a lot of AI photos, astronomy photos. I'm going, that's not. Oh, this is the best image of Venus right now. That's not. No. Why don't you do a Google the best image of Venus, and it's apples and oranges. You know, I see this stuff on the internet or on Facebook. I said, it's a fake photo. Fake. And it's a fake video. Fake. It still has that plastic look to it. You know. So, I understand, you know, and you know what I'm noticing on Facebook? I'm getting posts from people I don't even know. And I'm also getting a lot of companies. A lot of companies. I should be able to 86 all that. And then I'm going, who's this guy? What am I looking at his daughter's photograph for? I don't even know who the hell he is. You know, so Facebook is playing with people right now. And do they own your photos and videos that you put up there? Oh, but they don't own them. Meaning they can't sell them, because if I already own the original and they sell it, then that would be copyright. Because I still have it. Now they can put it anywhere they want to because they're already telling you. You know, but they can't sell it. It's the same thing as with NASA stuff. You can't. What is it? If you make a DVD, what is the guy? Because since it's that's right. That's what you have to do. And I'm getting hits on NASA. I did a NASA launch, and I was getting copyright. Now, what the only reason I can think of is if they're playing music that's not copyrighted, and they shouldn't be doing that. And it's okay. Yes, you can. Right. And now, right now, they don't ask you for rebroadcasting rights. Now, if you go onto my stuff, you take my stuff, it's copyrighted, and you can't even rebroadcast it. And when that volcano thing and everything, and I got an okay from the guy that was broadcasting that thing, and when they thought it was going to take off half of what it was, Iceland or Greenland or whatever, and he had the camera footage. I asked him if I could rebroadcast it, and somebody saw it. And reported it to YouTube, and I was going to be banned for 2 months or whatever from live streaming or whatever. And I made a plea to him. I said I got the okay's in the thing. You know, you'd be surprised on how many people say I'm gonna turn this guy in, you know, but you don't. The only person I forget who it was. He was in the waters down here and he was playing with the manatees. And so he put it up on YouTube and I said, you better take that down or you're gonna have the state of Florida knocking on your door. You know, you can be thrown in jail for what you do in these YouTube videos. Drinking a beer while you're driving. And I said, That's why when a cop comes up to you asking, do you know how fast you're going? And if you tell them how fast you're going, you're getting a ticket. I mean, you know, if you say you're going 16 or 45, you're more than likely to get the ticket. But if you say, no officer, I don't know, then you're in the clear. Or you can just tell the officers, I don't answer questions. No, you don't answer questions, period. Just don't answer questions. Because they're fishing. They are always fishing. And people get, no, I will not. And the person in the passenger side does not have to show ID. Period. He's not the offender. Cops cannot ask you for an ID. Walking down the street. Just walking down the street. This is not Nazi Germany. Well, they're running again today. Boy, they've been running all week. I tell you what was it? Not Friday, but Thursday morning. And man, and they start early too. They start like at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4:30. And it was so loud here, I had to shut my sliding glass door here because I couldn't hear the TV. It's pretty loud right now. I'm doing a stream right now. So, just to keep on, because you know what happened is, I got that software that I can stream that's in the iPhone, and I only use that if I'm walking or something. And using the gimbal because it does a very good stabilization. But the software that I use in the iPad, I went back to it, and not using it for a few months, I couldn't figure out how to do it. Isn't that weird? You use something for like 3 or 4 years, and all of a sudden you take a couple months off, and then when you go back to it, it's like, it's the same thing when I go into Photoshop. I hadn't used it in a long time and everything. I can't wait until they're almost there on the iPad, compatible with the desktop version. Almost. They don't have anything. They don't have any filters or sharpening in there.
It would find their job tremendously if the same software ran on both. They would only have to write one.
Yeah, I don't know. There may be too much in the software that it would just tax out the iPad. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the iPad only comes with 16 or 32 gigabytes of RAM.
That should be enough to run just about anything properly managed.
Oh, I did notice on that C-Star thing, something about my how can we do all this, because I only have, my device only has 3 gigabytes of RAM, and I don't know what the C-Star needs. Let's just say it needs 8. Well, most phones have 8 gigabytes of RAM. So she was kind of like, school. I mean, I understand she made a mistake. But then again, one person said, why don't you just load it on your phone and see if it's going to work. If it don't work, then you know your answer. Stupid, but that's why I tell a lot. Oh, I can't. What is better? This app or this app? Why don't you just load both of them and figure it out yourself? When it's simple stuff. Did you see that photograph that I sent you on my desktop from the iPad? I loaded this. I loaded a sunrise app and a moonrise app, and I put those on there as widgets. And I also, you can do a widget. I wanted a clock widget for what was like if okay, today's Monday. I wanted to count down to Friday at 4 o'clock, and I just keep, your appointment or the rocket launch is until Friday. You got 24 hours or 2 hours left or whatever. So if you look on there, I put the time for tomorrow's launch in there. But I was able to use an XP skin, a download skin. We're going, how did you get this timer with and every once in a while I'll watch a video. What's the best software for your iPad or for your iPhone or whatever? And I did pick that out of there. I said, I'm going to pick that one. And of course you had to pay for it,
Holy crap!
What?
Like scientific, you can buy AU. C-Star S50 for $425.
How much are they? $550?
They're $500.
So it's 70.
You get $75 off. You can get one used.
All right. Well, it hasn't been refabricated but they've gone over with the fine tooth comb.
And knowing who they are,
Yeah.
I would trust these guys. Let me just see what they say.
Somebody was asking about. I went in and had to return my iPad, and now Apple doesn't give you a brand new one. They always give you a refurbished one. She was kind of complaining. I said, okay, number one, the iPad you got was shipped from China, and they don't check those suckers. Believe me.
Yep.
Number two, when somebody sends one back to Apple, they go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and they make it's better than a brand new one. And other people were agreeing with me on that. It's better because you get a lemon from China, you know, and now I think that an iPad and an iPhone should have a 5-year guarantee on it, not from dropping or whatever, just from self wear out. Because you know these components in there wear out, heat. And why do I have to buy insurance on it? It should have a blanket thing that if it just stops working because it's not because you dropped it, the components just that little thread on that little container finally fell off, you know. Now AT&T, what they'll do is, I've got insurance on all my stuff. Let's just say they don't make this iPad now, all right? And they don't have any in stock. They give you the latest iPad, but you got to pay that. You got to pay and they don't understand this too. Is when you buy those insurance, there's also a what do you call that? When you go to the doctors, you got to pay a deductible. You know, you don't get it free or whatever. Maybe you get a deductible. You don't have to pay the deductible within the first year or something. But after that, I think it's the same thing with Apple and Apple Care too. You know, after a year or so, you can't. You got to pay a deductible. And that seems. I mean, you pay. My old one here, and I couldn't get it to hook up to it's a cell phone iPad, and I couldn't get it to update my software, and I couldn't get it to use the cell phone capabilities. And the guy said, well, you could just send it back in, and it costs you $200, and you get the latest one in. You'll get because we don't have the year before last sale. It keeps so many, you know, in stock, and people are always, and they just run out of them eventually. So it's going to be $200. Now, what I should do, and he said, why don't you do this? Why don't you wipe your iPad and start fresh? Because sometimes it could be some stupid software thing. And I said, well, wait, no. Let's don't do that, because I got a working iPad. I just don't have the cell phone capabilities. And he put down in the notes and everything, which I'm gonna wipe it eventually and see if it was just maybe it could be a software glitch, wouldn't you think? It wasn't the SIM card, you know. It wasn't the SIM card because you can't use I don't think you can use a non-cell phone iPad and use a what do you call it? What do you call it when you hook to another device's hotspot?
Okay, yeah.
And use your cell phone through your no, that won't work.
Okay.
Because the one that does work, that doesn't carry through on the, you're just using the hotspot. You're not using the capabilities of that device. And I will not. I don't care who it is. Maybe I will not let somebody use a hotspot off my cell phone or my iPad. Period. No, and you're not, and I won't let anybody use my phone either. Because they can go in there and as they're talking, or they can take all your contacts and all your information and send it to themselves, and that's what they do. If they, so I won't, I've had people. Can I use this? No, can't do it. Sorry, no. I'm that's not a conspiracy thing. Now this AI thing, I understand where you're coming from, but don't get so wrapped up to where you're going to be closed-minded, because eventually a lot of this stuff's going to be locked down. Eventually. But like you said, I would like it to tell me if it's taking Einstein's stuff and putting it into my article. And it does. I don't think it.
One thing I like about perplexity.ai is what everything in the results is footnoted, so you know exactly where that piece of information came from, and you can check it.
Is this a program?
It's a website, perplexity.ai. It's the best AI I know of, because it meets all my requirements.
Send me the link to it. I'd like to really check it out, because some of the stuff that Apple's saying it's AI, what the iPad figures out, not when you're on the internet, which it probably does, but it figures out the programs that you're using and how you're using it, or color correction it, and it figures out what your tastes are. That's where the AI comes into. It's just like the healing brush. That's AI. The more you use it, the more it understands how to delete images. The same thing with Siri. The more you use Siri, the more it understands you, and then you can do voice to text instead of writing if you want to. But boy, when you first fire it up, it's about as dumb as a thing of potatoes. I'm gonna have to go over to the swings. Yeah, it's got to understand. And if I can't get it to say do a word for me, I either I go into a web page, type it at the top there, a sentence, at least 3 or 4 words, and I'll put that word in there, and it will give me the correct spelling. I've gotten pretty good now. There are some words I just can't say and understand, and then some words when I do say it, well, it sounds like the ocean, or it sounds like something Pacific. I can't even say it. Pacific and Pacific. Same, it sounds the same, but spelled differently. You know, so a lot of times I'll have to go in there and go, I better check the meaning on it. Oh my God, no, it's asking for the ocean right now. And people are always, you know, you got your Nazi English, you know, you got your, what do they call them, English Nazis or word Nazis out there on Facebook, you know. I left the page that had a group that when I posted the live stream in there for an upcoming launch, and it still had the old date on it. So they clicked on it, and well, you get your 5 days off on your image, or even your writing and everything. I said on YouTube, and I tried to explain it to them. On YouTube, when you put a link into Facebook, and it draws it from what do you call it? YouTube, and then you change something on YouTube, like the graphic or whatever, you can still have the old graphic in there. You can't update it on Facebook, in which I don't understand why. You know, no, it's been like that for years. It's been like the thing that it probably is, and it does on some of the software that I have here, that if I do something in Final Cut Pro and then I see a glitch and I want to change, and I put it in another program and I see a glitch, and then go back into Final Cut Pro, I have to name it something different. If I keep the same name, I go back to the old program, it says, you already got it. And that's what Facebook is saying. You've already got it. I'm talking about all the graphics and the text. You know, and so, you know what? I went in there, I made it. I said, there are so many jerks in there, I'm leaving. I'm not, in which I didn't leave, I'm just not going to post anything anymore. And I just said, I've had it with the jerks in here. They just don't understand the internet. And when I try to explain to them, YouTube does not, Facebook does not update graphics when you change something from YouTube. And I'm not a member of the group anymore. So I'm not going to become, I'm gone. In fact, I think the owner kicked me out when I said that, but you know, he shouldn't do that. Am I right? He shouldn't do that. Right? They do. He shouldn't do it. It's up to me to do it. You know, I've got flip. Oh, I'm leaving. I'm never coming back. And all of a sudden, you know, 3 weeks later, you know, he shouldn't have. And you know, the other thing too, he knows my connection with Astronomy Magazine. Of course, I'm not gonna, if I ever do anything with astronomy, hopefully soon, with them not having a brick and mortar storefront anymore, you know, it's gonna be hard for people to glom onto them and get hired at, hey, how about if we do this and I'll do it for you? And you pay, you know. It's going to be so hard. Because when I told them that, hey, you know what, I could come up to Wisconsin and I could be the office boy. No more office. You know what I told her the other day? I said, well, since I can't be an office boy, the only thing I do is I can make good coffee and I will vacuum. but I don't fold clothes. Meaning I'll move in.
Really?
But you know, it's not going to be the demise of Astronomy Magazine, but it's going to be a demise of the personnel.
Yeah, well, it definitely will.
You know, if they don't have that camaraderie that they need to have when they go to the office, and it depends, you know, and of course, I would say that all the employees there, you worked at the News Journal. I hire somebody, he turns out to be an asshole, but they ain't gonna fire him because he does good work, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you do that at Astronomy Magazine, you're out of there. Doesn't care how good you are. I don't care if your name is Galileo. Do you think? I was thinking about this, and I picked Galileo. We know a lot about Galileo in writings, not from just him, but from other people.
Sure.
Probably not so much with Newton. Herschel, most definitely. Would they be able to, would those three people be able to, let's just say they don't have degrees, but they have the knowledge, would they be able to go to any observatory? Do you think they would hire them because of their expertise as a professional? Now, the only difference between a professional astronomer and a amateur is a professional gets paid. That's the only difference in the professional realm of things. You get paid. Now, it's not saying that.
Pretty much all professionals have a range of skills that amateurs don't need to have.
Like what?
They need to know how to operate the equipment. They need to know how to write a proposal to get funding.
Well, what's to say I don't know how to do all that? I know how to do all that shit. I can do the equations. I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I know who to talk to in the pipeline and get things done. You know, it's, I don't know. I went online to see about their jobs. They want degrees. Yes, they do. And guess what? You know what Harris said yesterday? She's gonna 86 government requiring to have a degree. You know they don't. No. Well, it does if you're a nurse. Not your skill, but it tells you that you've had the medical training. You know, and also on other fields. So she's gonna, and she says, and I hope the private sectors follow heat. Now, I don't think she can do that with an executive order. She may be able to do it. She was making it sound like she could write it. I don't think so. A lot of times they say stuff off the top of their head that they're going to do, and then all of a sudden, oh, you can't. You know, Trump was getting at her. You can't do that. Oh, I didn't know that. You know, but she's gonna eliminate. So then why does she want me to pay for everybody's college if you're going to eliminate degrees? Right? Because that funding, and a lot of people think the funding is just for young people. You can be 65 years old and get the same thing as a 19-year-old. You know? So So why should I pay for somebody's college when the government's saying, well, we're going to dumb down the, and of course, if you don't have a degree, they're going to hire people that aren't qualified. I don't care. The person who hired them, didn't do his due diligence and did, checking and proper venting of the, I hate that word, because venting of the person, candidate and everything. So I don't think so. And how can they still be neck and neck right now? Are we being, there's no way. And even Fox is saying that. I think they're saying that only out of, they want to be caught with their pants down if she wins. If she wins. Because I go on to CNN and I listen to them. They hate Trump with a purple passion. They want to hang him for what he said about Cheney, but they don't want to hang her for calling him Hitler. And Obama, she came out and she said, back in 1939, the Nazi Party had the same, no, it wasn't the same venue, it was the same name. Yeah, the new one was built in 1968 or something, so it's not the same venue, it's the same name, and it doesn't really matter. So that makes whoever plays in that venue, sports-wise, just like Hitler. Now somebody asked the other day, he says, I was in Berlin and I couldn't find Hitler's bunker. Okay, they don't know the laws of this. They do not. You are not allowed to display the swastika or anything. You'll go to jail. If you walk down the street and you have a lapel with the swastika, they're gonna lock you up. They don't. In which I can kind of understand why they want to, because that means there are still people out there. Well, of course you know that. We got all these white supremacists there, and that is a hogwash. That is pure made up bullshit, and you know that. There's no white supremacists in this country. There are little factions. I'm saying I don't think the KKK is really organized anymore. I don't know. And so when whoever coined that word here should be hung. White supremacists. There's just as many as black supremacists that hate white people. Of course. Same thing with the Mexicans. And I don't fault them. I really don't. They just don't understand. And when you and that doesn't mean you're ignorant either. You just don't understand. It's the ignorant ones that piss me off. Because the ones that don't understand, they're not going to pick up. They're not going to get a torch and pitchforks. Yeah. One last thing. Did I tell you about my thing with the wings thing here? I've got my receipt, and he's going to say, well, why didn't you bring it back? I said, I was already back home. I was hungry, and I was already in bed. And I ate some of the wings that I could eat, but I want my fucking hamburger. And then I'll never go back there. I really won't. And I was like, come on now, it's a $14 hamburger. It's a $14 hamburger. I'm coming here trying to scam you, and I come in here all the time.
Really?
You know. In fact, the girl behind the bar remembers me because my debit card, I told you my debit card, I gotta get a new one. It's all messed up on the front. And every time I give it to her, I says, it still works. I just can't put it in a slot thing. And I won't put it in a slot because it's going to get jammed in there. Because the top lamination is coming off. The chip's still there.
Yes.
You know, and you can take those laminations off and put whatever stuff on the front of it. When they ask you for your ID, well, that's me right there on the front of the card. And that stuff does come off. Because it's not raised anymore. It's not raised anymore. And I'm sure you can get some of these, like what they take tattoos off people. Like you can get a laser that can go over the top of that and take out the name completely, like it was never there, and then use a laser or something to put a new name on it.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Oh, you know, they use a lot of lasers to take stuff off of stuff. You know, when they do the painting of the ships, they use some kind of plasma laser or whatever to blast the thing because they have to really get down into the metal. And it doesn't. Now, how does it get rid of the rust? But it doesn't take anything off the metal.
I don't know.
Stuff just fascinates me, you know. I like to know, but you don't have to give me the MC squared of it. You know, and I love stuff that I find on the internet. Like, oh, is that how they do it? God, I didn't know that. I mean, it's not that they dumped it down to a third grader. Yeah, I think the Tyson thing, some of his stuff is borderline on